Well, good afternoon, Facebook. So right now I'm utilizing my space on my wand workbench, if you will. And every handle that needs to be painted black for the next batch of wands, minus the two I haven't carved yet, or three. The third one's for a fan, so yeah. What's up, peoples? Right now you can see there's a bunch of wands in my vice clamp. The reason being is I'm painting all the handles that need to be black are being painted black. So to speed up the production of my wands, the only steps that cannot be done in multiple steps would be wrapping and gluing. Well, I can get all the handles wrapped and tied and ready to be glued, but painting the wand halves and gluing the handles on each wand, that has to be done separately, individually. Painting the halves of the other halves of the wands has to be done separately. Everything else from carving to podging to wrapping the handles to painting the handles, a couple of these steps on the wands can be done in multiple times. You know what I'm saying, Facebook? So when I got a couple steps that I know I can do several times over, it's where the only couple of things that I do have to do individually for each one isn't going to take that long. It cuts the production time of my wands down severely when I can take several of my steps that I do to making these wands, and I can do each step repeatedly. So right now the black on the handles is drying, and then I'll paint each half of the wands different colors. Anywhere from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, white, gold, silver, glow in the dark. Those are the colors I had in my last batch. Well, this batch we're going to have a full-on rainbow wand, which will look like an acid trip on a wand. Just hit it. We're going to Rasta wand. And I got enough colors that I can do different patterns and shit. So it's not going to be that difficult. But this fourth batch of wands is going to look good. You're getting 20 wands in this fourth batch, 19 handhelds, $24 a piece, and one crystal scepter, which will be $54. Yeah. So right now I got at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wands in the vice clamp with the handles painted black, and the rest of them are drying, hanging on over the workbench, like two spray paint cans per wand, and the wand will sit on it like that, with it hanging over the workbench. In some cases, I can use those paint cans to put at least 2 per paint cans. That way, if I want to really just bust my Asperger's and hustle these wands out as quickly as I can, this is the best way to do it. Later on tonight, I can start individually painting each wand. And then when I go to tie the handles for them, I can tie the handles on there in multiple wands at a time. But gluing the handles and everything else, that's, podging can be done multiple times. It's multiple wands. The steps to podging can be done multiple times. But pretty much the only thing I cannot do in multiple steps is gluing the handles on there and painting the wand halves. So I tried doing that with the last batch, and I noticed that a lot of paint from different wands had gotten onto different wands. I looked more closely at it. It all wasn't one solid color. So yeah, But the last batch didn't look that bad, to be honest. But this batch is going to look even better. As it turns out, I already have one wand done in this batch. It's the clear wand, as I mentioned in several of my wand making Facebook Live videos and or YouTube videos. The clear wand dries first because it's the easiest one to make. You just carve it, put string on it, all that sort of thing. As a matter of fact, you can see right here, the podge is almost done drying on the handle completely. And this wand will be available with the rest of the wands on the next batch on Etsy. Now you can see right here, I left some of the bark on the handle, and I made the Mod Podge makes it really shiny. This one's dry enough I can pick it up and hold it. I'm not going to get Mod Podge all over my hands. And this wand handle is almost done drying completely. The rest of the wand dried clear. But yeah, leaving some of the bark on there. that looks cool, man. You see down here what the handle is going to look like when it dries clear. Yeah. These last couple of hours, Facebook, I've been utilizing my time and my space on my workbench and what have you to bust them out. Oh, well, thank you, Therese. I appreciate the compliment. And that's the thing of it, is I haven't made wands in a long time. These last 4 batches I've been working on. I'm currently on the 4th batch, by the way. Yeah, the last 4 batches or so, I'm starting to perfect my skill. My day's been quite alright. One of my homies stopped by and gave me a whole cigarette. We bullshitted and watched some Family Guy for a minute, and then he left. My day's been quite alright. I really can't complain. Getting these wands done as quickly as possible. Aw, well, thank you, Therese. I appreciate that. As I mentioned, I will get Therese's wand done as soon as I can, but right now I gotta get all these others done. But speeding up the production on my 4th batch of wands like I've done, this will allow me to get to Therese's wand a lot more quickly. I've developed a system for getting my wands done, and this method seems to work a little bit better. Give them a couple hours to dry on the first half of those. Yeah. Which allowed me to have a couple of cigarette butts to stick in my ashtray, and rather than smoke them, I just break them up into my pipe. If you're going to smoke a used cigarette butt, get yourself a tobacco pipe and squeeze the tobacco into your pipe, see? That way you're not smoking someone else's used cigarette butt. I mean, it works in a pinch if you're really, really low on tobacco. People might be like, oh, that's gross. Well, shit. Humans are gross by nature. Watching paint dry don't get much funner than this. All sarcasm aside. 2 o'clock. And always be sure, like, especially if you have a dishwashing job of any sort, you know, and you're making wands on the side to make a little extra money, you want to make sure there's no spray paint on your hands when you go to your job. You know what I'm saying? Because then they'll be like, "What the hell are you doing, Mr. Project Man?" Now, if the last 3 batches hadn't sold out so successfully, then I wouldn't be putting 20 in the 4th batch. I'm just saying. But putting 13 in the last batch gave more people more chances to buy a wand, which in turn was more money in my pocket. Yeah. Oh yeah, the fans sent me this rockin' t-shirt. This thing is hella sexy, man. Yeah. Wearing it in public, and people make a stink about it. I'm like, well, what's wrong with their shirt? Well, that shirt's pornographic. Excuse me, but the pot leaves are very tastefully covering her boobs, for one. And 2, she's wearing a bikini bottom. And she's not fucking herself. She's just smoking a blunt looking sexy. And marijuana cures breast cancer. So if you really have a problem with this t-shirt, you can kiss my Asperger's. Yeah. Not as sexy as some of my female fans, but thank you for that compliment, 30s. Yeah. And this is the kind of shirt I can wear on my own time, but if I'm on a company time, then obviously I want to dress more professional, you know what I'm saying? Nice clean shirt, you know, nice clean black shirt. Yeah. This is exactly the problem with our society, YouTube. Our society has completely sexualized the female body. I might get a lot of hate for saying it, but it's been said. And people need to realize that the female body can be sexy without being sexual. There's a difference. It's a huge difference. Oh, Therese Saxton, please, don't even trip about it, girl. You are gorgeous. Like, damn. When you accepted my friend request, I was like, oh. Therese Saxton's like, I wish I had boobs as big as hers. Oh, the girl on my shirt? Shit. Girl, you are fine as hell. Don't even trip about it. Let's see. Bobby says, what are your thoughts on the whole immigrant families being separated situation that was happening? That's kind of fucked, dude. Like, if they're willing to bust their asses and make an honest living for themselves, I say let them in. You know, you gotta think, how the fuck was America founded? By a bunch of people, immigrants no less, coming over and escaping a shitty life to make a better life for themselves. And for America today to not give other people that chance is extremely hypocritical, historically speaking. Now, if the Native Americans hadn't graciously shared their land like they have, they would have treated us like we treat immigrants today. There would be no America, plain and simple. We'd all be in Europe right now. I'm just saying. You know, and then people take advantage of their kindness and shit like that. It's just fucked. But I shouldn't have to feel historically oppressed because my ancestors were dickheads. Just because my ancestors treated natives and immigrants and other people like crap, and women especially, doesn't mean I'm going to. But whenever I try to show sympathy for people in our disgusting world we live in, and people be like, oh, check your privilege, white boy, you don't know how it feels. It's like, excuse me? That might work if someone's being a racist, bigoted asshole, but I'm not trying to be a racist, bigoted asshole. I can be an asshole if I'm pushed to it, though. I treat everybody the same. You treat me like shit, I'm going to treat you like shit. That's just how it goes, man. It's the golden rule. I'm generally speaking not going to treat you like shit unless you give me a reason to. You know what I'm saying, Facebook? Like, straight up. Why the fuck is racism even a thing, YouTube, Facebook, social media? Why is racism even a thing when every human bleeds the same color of blood? Every human goes through bullshit at some point in their life. Every human will get treated unfairly. Every human will complain about something at least once in their life. That's just how it is. To sit there and say that, oh, all you women do is bitch and complain, or all you men do is bitch and complain, that's completely sexist. Especially when you turn around and then you complain about the person you're with. It's like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not here to talk shit, I'm just saying, you know, to 1 minute sit there and say that all you men do is complain, and then turn around and complain about the person you're with 2 seconds later. It's like, well, if you don't like being with that person, then why the fuck are they still in your life? Sometimes people are stuck in bad relationships because it's what they're used to. They've been with that person for long enough. And sometimes they're using that person for something else. Then maybe they have to take care of certain things. But it's not that hard, Facebook. When you have a girlfriend and you live with her, it's not that hard to take on the responsibilities. You shouldn't force your girlfriend to do everything for you. You're not helpless. I mean, if you're physically disabled to where you needed help around the house, that's understandable. But for real though, you Facebook, how hard is it to pick up your fucking clothes? That's what laundry baskets are for. Now you see my apartment. I don't got clothes laying all over the fucking place like some disgusting slob. That's what dirty laundry baskets are for. I mean, men get a bad name for being disgusting, horrible pigs because we're sweaty, hairy, and gross. That's what we do, right? Dudes, where are my dudes at? Here's the thing, bro. If you're dating a hot-ass chick, you have to realize it comes with the territory. When I say that, I mean you're going to have other dudes checking her out. I mean, if you don't like it, then date someone less attractive. But, like, you can't blame other dudes for checking your girlfriend out, especially when you know she's fucking hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. As long as it's not trying to, like, physically assault her, and, like, they might make some stupid comment, you know. Like, one dude to another, you're going to get mad at a bro for making a comment, you know? Like, if that's the worst he did, like, damn, she's fine. And just leave it at that. That's the worst he did, was say, damn, she's fine, and leave it at that. Oh, wow. like, you're going to get pissed off and disagree with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Exactly. Here's the thing, Slick. This isn't necessarily true of all attractive women, but a good majority of attractive women are stuck up and high maintenance. And unfortunately, Facebook, society is halfway to blame for people being stuck up. I say halfway to blame. Now, society treats more attractive people better. So if these kids are growing up being treated better because they're considered more attractive as they get older, then they're going to be conditioned to expect everything to be given to them. Or they're going to be used to people telling them how attractive they are. You know. That's unfortunately the downside of, you know, of course, when you're a kid and at that age, getting into girls, you're like, oh shit, she's the first chick to hit it. Yeah, nice. You know what I'm saying? But then when you get older, you're like, oh, dude, that had to suck. That had to suck, man. The consequence for women hitting puberty a lot sooner than guys is that they'll get older guys hitting on them and shit. And it's just, nah, dude. And if you want kids to not hit puberty at such an early age, then here's a thought. Maybe you take the fucking hormones out of your food. Do the fucking hormones in our food serve any purpose in preserving its shelf life to make it quicker to sell? If it doesn't have any practical use, then why the fuck is it in our food? Why the fuck are prescription pills outrageously expensive and the cheap genetic shit only gives you enough to get you by? It's bullshit, Facebook. You'd be sitting there watching a commercial for some prescription pill. Side effects may include. And as soon as they list the 10,000 side effects you don't want, they're trying to distract your mind by playing some peaceful scenery in the background of the commercial. Oh, here's a couple bathing in a tub together, or here's a dog and some dude walking his dog, or here's a chick smiling, here's a pretty beach. If side effects worsen, consult your doctor and stop taking blah, 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 blah. More peaceful scenery. As if that's supposed to ease your mind into wanting to take it in the first place. Like, prescription pills cost too much fucking money, and 9 times out of 10 they contain way more side effects than they're worth taking in the first place. It's ridiculous. Like, holy shit, is it ridiculous? It makes you stop and wonder, why the fuck are we taking it in the first place? It'd be like taking Pepto-Bismol and getting diarrhea as a side effect. Like, I'm sick of it, Facebook. There's no fucking reason why prescription pills should be costing anybody, especially senior citizens, an arm and a fucking leg just to keep them alive. That's bullshit. It's corrupt and it's crooked. Like, you're a drug company. You're supposed to make pills that make people better, not worse. But apparently there's more money in keeping people sick than there is in making them better. If they're sick, then they gotta buy more pills, right? Simple as that. And that's just money marketing 101. So that's why a lot of our drug companies don't completely fix the problem, even though they have the power to make a lot of this shit go away. If we keep people sick, then they'll keep buying our product, and then we'll keep being rich. There's a lot more money in keeping people sick than there is in treating them, unfortunately. And that's why chemo treatment exists. It's disgusting. When chemo can kill like 7 to 10 people that it cures, you know, And there are other more natural resources like cannabis oil, which can cure more people than it kills. There's a reason why Big Pharma is trying to keep cannabis illegal, because it's threatening their money flow. Like, we can't have you having people get better. Like your mother, your sister, God forbid, has breast cancer, and what are your options? Avoid chemo, it could take your life. Or take chemo and it could take your life. Or smoke some of that weed. Did you know that cannabis is so powerful that medically speaking, if we're talking medical, cannabis has the full power to prevent HIV from going full-blown AIDS. That's how powerful of a medical plant cannabis is. And that's not the only medical benefit cannabis has. So there's a good reason why Big Pharma is trying to keep that shit illegal. If it can be used to treat glaucoma, arthritis, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, autism, ADHD, depression, OCD. You know what I'm saying? It has so many medical benefits. So instead of your kid taking Zoloft or Ritalin for their ADHD, they're taking a low THC dose cannabis oil. It doesn't get them high, but it gives them just enough THC to like not be so, you know what I'm saying? There's a good reason why cannabis can be used to treat ADHD. It's because when you have ADHD, your mind is racing 10,000 thoughts a second. And when your mind is racing 10,000 thoughts a second, and all of a sudden people who have ADHD will either drink caffeine or smoke weed because it stimulates the brain enough to slow down and think, or tobacco in some cases, which is all I can smoke right now, which I don't mind because I love tobacco. It's delicious. People be like, oh, Mr. Saunders, you shouldn't smoke tobacco. It's bad for you. Do I look like I give a shit with cannabis being legalized all over the fucking United States of America? By the time I'm 60 years old, this shit's going to be legal all over this country. If not the whole world by then, which would be nice. If the whole fucking world legalized pot, there'd be less problems. Countries would be too stoned to fight over oil. They'd be too stoned to have a pissing match. Oh, my country's got a bigger nuke button than your country. Oh, yeah. Well, my country's got a crazier asshole for a leader than your country does. Like, that's the kind of pissing contest that no one's going to win. Well, my country has a crazier asshole in charge than your country does. Really? No one's going to win that pissing contest, man. Your comment's getting deleted. What kind of bullshit is that? That's why you don't want to legalize weed, is because drug companies would lose money? Fuck you, dude. 80 to 90% of these drug companies are crooked shysters just trying to make us sicker. Have you not been paying attention to my rant? What the fuck has that person been smoking? God damn. But a great way for me to take my mind off of bullshit is to make wands for my Etsy store. And I have several of them drying right now. The black on the handles is drying. That'll speed up production very nicely. I'm just saying the finished product looks good, man. Yeah. Now, if marijuana became legal all across the United States, it would force drug companies to actually take away their side effects, because if cannabis is legal and it can be used to treat a number of things, menstrual cramps for your periods, including a bunch of other things, then that's going to force drug companies to reschedule and remake their shit if they want to stay, you know what I'm saying? That's going to force a lot of drug companies to change their shit. Because they can no longer rely on just keeping you sick to keep their pockets filled, because then people will be using cannabis to treat their shit. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of drug companies are fighting to keep it illegal. A lot of drug companies will sit there and buy out politicians to fight against cannabis. And some of these older politicians would benefit from marijuana being legal, because some of them might have like arthritis or some shit like that. You got joint discomfort, smoke a joint. But the way I see it, this kind of pisses me off. Marijuana has so much medical benefits. Our veterans cannot smoke it legally for their PTSD unless they live in a state where it's friendly. They fight for our country, and you can't even allow them to, they're not even allowed to smoke a fucking joint. That's bullshit. The fact that our vets can't even smoke pot for their PTSD, that is complete and utter bullshit. Not to mention that sex offenders and child molesters are getting less prison time than somebody convicted for a simple pot possession. Keep in mind that just because someone smokes pot doesn't mean they're a stoner. Maybe they're smoking it because they got cancer. So you're throwing cancer patients in prison. You're giving them 5 to life for a fucking marijuana cigarette, when child molesters and sex offenders are getting out in 8 months. Where's the justice, man? Where's the fucking justice? That's all right, Richie Welt. That's understandable. I was going to say, like, my bad, that makes total sense. Oh. That acetone. Like, you want to sit there and tell me that marijuana can prevent HIV from going full-blown AIDS. You want to sit there and tell me that marijuana can be used to treat cancer, glaucoma, arthritis. But if you get caught smoking it, that's potential prison time. The fuck? If marijuana is such a crime, then why doesn't Bill Clinton and Barack Obama turn themselves in for smoking it? Because if Barack Obama, not talking shit, way better president than Trump, I'm just saying. But if Obama would have gotten arrested for smoking pot when he was younger, he would not have made it to become president of the United States of America. People sit there and say, well, if you smoke pot, you won't achieve nothing. Really? Then maybe you should take a look at our 44th president. Ran for a total of 8 years in office. But if you smoke pot, please, you're lazy and you won't achieve nothing. What about Steve Jobs, Mr. Apple himself? If he would have continued smoking, there's a likelihood he never would have gotten cancer, but there you go. Now, you ever notice that when you smoke a little bit of weed and you're in a weed-friendly state, you smoke a little bit of weed, you start seeing things from a different perspective. You're like, wait a minute. That shit don't make any sense. And that's why the fuck the government doesn't want weed legal just yet, because weed make you see things you're not supposed to see, that the fucking system's trying to fucking mask from your decisive eyes. Marijuana make you see the truth, man. You know, the whole stereotype that stoners are like total conspiracy nut jobs, you know, that cliche, right? Oh, it's a conspiracy, man. No, but some of these conspiracies might actually be real, and that's why the government's being bribed by Big Pharma to keep it illegal, when marijuana makes way more money than Big Pharma does at the moment. Colorado made so much money off of cannabis, they were able to donate $1 million to the homeless. Let that sink in for a second. Knowing that cannabis made Colorado so much money, they could take $1 million, 1 million cold hard donate it to the homeless problem in Colorado, and be just fine. State's still got plenty of money. I sit there thinking, oh, dude, that must be nice to be able to give the homeless and the needy in your community $1 million and not even be tripping about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Colorado is pimp slapping us with the money they're making. Yeah, you combined. Actually, you know what? Just for the sake of how much money. Okay, let's go to Google and let's ask Google that important question. How much money does marijuana make in the United States of America? How much money is the U.S. government making by keeping weed? The U.S. legal weed industry is booming. CNN money. Okay, let's click on that. Let's see, we got... Well, we got, as it currently sits, we got 30 states that are medical. We got 9 states that are recreational and 16 states that allow CBD. Wyoming just allowed CBD. Look at that. I see it on the map. Cool. And that's awesome, which basically means there's only 4 states in this country that have not been affected by marijuana in some way, shape, or form. And that's Idaho, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Arkansas. Pretty much everywhere else is either legal for medical use, recreational use, or CBD use. 4 states remain. I mean, there's a couple that are, at least Wyoming's got CBD. That's a good start. I've been using my magic to make marijuana legal all over the United States. I've been trying so goddamn hard. And now I sit here and I look, and literally 4 states remain undecided. That's some pretty awesome power, man. Hell yeah. Got 16 states for CBD, which means those 16 states for CBD have the potential to become medical states. If there's 30 medical states, then and 9 recreational states, those 39 states are doing wonders for this country right now. They're showing the world that it's not a drug, it's a medicine. Marijuana starts off as a little tiny black seed, and it grows into a delicious green plant. Aspirin's a motherfucking drug. That shit's made in the goddamn laboratory. Vicodin, Valium, oxycodone, Oxycontin, morphine, those are drugs. Habit-forming, pill-popping drugs. The worst that might happen if you smoke too much weed, you might pass out. Maybe you'll burn through a whole bag of Doritos. But if marijuana is legal for recreational medical use in your state, then please, I beg of you, be responsible with it. If you're too stoned to go pick up a pizza, call it in, smart guy. I mean, this is the 21st fucking century, dude. If you're too stoned to go get munchies, fucking order a pizza. Straight up. You gotta treat marijuana like alcohol in that sense, man. The only thing that marijuana and alcohol have in common is that they give you the munchies, they make you sleepy. And you can get intoxicated while doing both of them. That's it. But this cliche that marijuana makes you lazy, that's just like saying, well, if you drink alcohol, you're going to be violent or overly emotional. It doesn't matter if you're smoking weed or drinking alcohol. If it's 4 o'clock in the morning, you're stoned or drunk, you're like, God damn it, I want some Taco Bell. Considering that cannabis oil and CBD oil can be used to treat children with epilepsy and cancer. But with just 4 states that are completely illegal on CBD everything. There's just 4 states that are completely illegal on everything. Every other state in the country is illegal. We got 30 states for medical, 9 states for recreational, 16 states for CBD, and 4 states undecided. We're that close, Facebook. I can feel it. As I sit here and make my wands and wait for them to dry, I am just, this is awesome. This is awesome. Let's see. Reading the article here, it says, but people are owing $1 billion in tax revenue, but it's being paid off legitly. So people are making millions to billions of dollars off of this shit. 4 states remain. That's crazy shit, Facebook. It's that fucking number again. 4 states undecided. We got just 4 states on the map that are still illegal completely on everything. We're really fucking close, man. We're so close I could taste it. Yeah. Chris Hubble says, you should run for office, man. You've got some good ideas. I'm legally old enough to run for Senate, but here's the thing. I'm goth. I'm a metalhead. I may have good ideas, but no one's going to vote for me because I look like a fucking metalhead druggie. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, whatever, dude. You want to be judgmental? That's your fucking problem. Life's too short to be judgmental. That's all I'm getting at. You get one fucking life, and you're gonna be a miserable twat and judge everybody that you meet in your life. Like, really, dude, that's sad. I'm not even old enough to run for president yet. But if I became old enough to run for president, people would be like, what makes you think you're qualified? You have no experience. I'm like, well, neither does Trump, but I'll leave it at that. Look, if I was 34 years old, I could legally run for president. I'm 27 right now. 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like 7 years away from being legally able to run for president. That's some crazy shit now, isn't it? And when you're hustling to get your money, you know what I'm saying, you see things from a different perspective. You get to hear people's side of the story, you know what I'm saying? Get to see the real heart of America, you know what I'm saying? People who are struggling to make it, but still making it. And, well, anybody who sits there and watches Bernie Sanders do a speech and some bird land on his podium and doesn't sit there and say, why isn't he president of the United States? I don't know. How the fuck? I mean, that should have been a sign from the universe or whoever fucking runs this shit saying, hey, put this man in the White House. You don't give a shit if his hair is uncombed. You don't give a shit if he's old as fuck. He's got some shit to do and some shit to get done and some shit to say. Yeah. But here's the thing of it. If you're in a bad relationship, whether it's romantic or just a friendship, and it's toxic for your life, that person brings you down, does nothing but bring drama to your life. Why are they still in your life, man? If you're in a relationship with somebody, whether it's romantic or just hanging out, and they attract drama to your life, why are you still with them? There are some people that are just quote unquote toxic for us, you know what I'm saying? And you ask yourself, why? Why? If you have people that are toxic in your life or you're not 100% satisfied with your relationship, why are you still in it? Just for the sake of saying you have a girlfriend or you have friends to hang out with, right? I get that. You don't want to be alone, but here's the thing. I'd much rather have a loyal girlfriend that's easy on the eyes and even easier to talk to than just some random floozy. You know what I'm saying? I'd much rather have 4 or 5 close homies than like 20 acquaintances. Well, I appreciate the concern, Britt Bailey, but I'll do as I please. Cooking mayonnaise isn't going to make you sick. It's already got egg in it that's already cooked. If anything, you're just adding flavor to it. Shit. I don't see how it'd make you sick, but whatever. I got a pretty strong immune system, so I'm not too worried about it. That fuck, like this sideburn right here is kind of. Okay, no, I didn't fuck up on my sideburns, hopefully. But yes, but baking it or warming it makes it sour. Huh. I don't know about that because it didn't taste sour when I did it. It tasted like mayonnaise. Oh, well, my apologies. I did not know how you pronounced your dealio there. Well, shit. God damn it. I'll have to Google it later, yeah, because I don't know about that, man. Because if it is true, then I'm going to have to delete my calzone video if it's true, then, because that's not a good idea to bake mayo, I guess, because I don't want to be encouraging my fans to make recipes that could be potentially making them sick. God damn it. And no one fucking tells me this shit. Fuck your pop-up ad. Try it on a dating site. It's free. Fuck you. Free comes with a dick up your vagina. That's what free comes with. They say it's free, but then to view other people's profiles, you have to pay the website money. It's like, dude, that's what fucking Facebook is for, man. Other than the price of internet, it don't cost you a fucking thing to set up Facebook. Well, thank you for letting me know, Britt. I certainly wouldn't want to encourage my fans to do anything stupid. It's too late. I've already deleted those 2 videos. I guess it's just one of those things you gotta put on the outside of your calzone if you're gonna do something like that. That way you're not risking getting sick. Well, I certainly don't want to encourage my fans to do poor cooking habits. This is why I shouldn't have a cooking show on YouTube, because, quite frankly, I don't know. Half the time, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Half the time, I'm just throwing shit together. Don't know how the fuck it's gonna turn out. You know. But for some odd reason, my fans love my cooking videos, so. Eh. Well, I got a little carried away in my rants just like I usually do. Jeez. I'm like, it's bad enough that men and women are treated unfairly, but then shit like that on top of it. Huh. Huh. Well, according to the article, it can cause food poisoning. First time I'm hearing about it. Well, it's nice to know now, at least. Yeah, I guess it's as good as mine. I don't know why it does that, but it's just how it is, I guess. Dry. That one's dry. That one's dry. Oh, that's what I like to see when the one handles be dry. I can get them all prepped for their next maiden voyage of things to do. Awesome. This one's dry. This one's dry. Oh yeah, this one's definitely dry. Awesome. The handles on these are dry. Now I can reorganize my shit. There we go. Basically, went and did all the handles just like that, damn near. And painting the halves of these one at a time. That's going to have to be done one at a time. But that's all right. Now I got a nice long line of wands that need to be painted. Let the excess drip off. There we go. Look at that. Coming together nice now. Here's the red one. Put that right there. Possibly, yes. I can probably get two of these drying at the same time, which will speed it up a little bit, but let that drip a bit. There we go. Now, without touching these two wands together, you can see I got a red and an orange one. I can there we go. There's red, there's orange. I'm going to make yellow fit right here, maybe. Yeah, maybe, just maybe. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Now, gluing the handles on individuals be an individual thing, but wrapping the handles when these are all drying, yeah. There we go. There's 3 of them. Make room for green, maybe? Stuck it like right there. Maybe we could, but I don't want to risk it. So let's do 2 to 3 at a time. Unless I can just. Yeah, no, 2 to 3 at a time. Good. Is it making a wand? You calling me an it? I identify as a heterosexual goth male, so your pronoun is politically incorrect. That's your first warning. Yo, these wands are gonna look good. If I work fast enough, I might be able to get these done by the beginning of next week or sooner. But anyways, Facebook, thank you for watching. Catch your cool cobras on the flip side.